Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now welcome to another special edition of my Am I a Chap series, in which of course gentlemen send me images of themselves in their best attire, and I will provide my observations, some thoughts, maybe a steer here or there to how to improve that overall appearance. You will note there is no negativity here, alright? I only ever offer supportive and positive comments, and that's really important for you to understand, because the gentlemen who've sent these images are all volunteers. They've all sent their images into us with a view to helping us on our own journeys to Chap Nirvana. Now today is a special edition, and I've done one of these in the past. It's one of my Frugal Am I a Chap series, because I think it's really important for us all, particularly perhaps if you're new to the dressing well world, to understand you don't have to spend a fortune to look extremely sharp in this modern world, because there are options out there. Now, I'm not going to tell you about how much the items in this wardrobe cost until we've had a look at this gentleman's overall images. And then at the end, I will astound you by how much money he spent on his overall outfit. It'll be quite an eye-opener. And let us begin. Now the gentleman you're about to see is called Eddie Lopez. Now Eddie's a friend of the channel because he was one of the first ever Am I a Chap participants, in which he sent some great images of himself in very sharply dressed, I have to say. And Eddie has written to us again and sent us his Frugal Am I a Chap submission. Now Eddie hails from Arizona, a state I know rather well. I've visited there many times over the years. I've had some great nights out in Scottsdale and Tucson, and holds many happy memories for me, but that's another story entirely. However, let us embark upon these images. Now, as ever, I always start from the ground up, because shoes are so important to a man's outfit that if you don't get the shoes right, it's going to have a really negative impact on one's clothing. And as we can see, just an overall picture to start with, Eddie here is wearing a navy blue suit, and it is a rather sharp one indeed. But let's start with those shoes. What is he wearing on his feet? And you can't go far wrong, can you? A cap toe Oxford, and in this instance it's a sort of burgundy colour, and immediately what you see when you look at these shoes is a great shine, a sort of a resonance to the shoe. They look good straight away. They're a classic gentleman's shoe, of course, the cap toe Oxford relating to the closed lacing system, and that cap toe gives you a nice defined area to the front of the shoe in which you can polish it up should you wish. But in this instance, I can see that the leather of the shoe is a sort of high shine, high gloss finish in its natural appearance. And yeah, it's a good classic shoe in a very versatile colour. I think Eddie has picked a great shoe for the overall outfit. Okay, let's look at some of that suit to start with. Let's have a look at the trousers. Now the first thing that I see here is a really good break, so that the length in the trouser finishes perfectly just on the lacing system of the shoes. It's a cuffed trouser leg, so it's got a little turn up at the bottom, which is classic, elegant, something I have on many of my own suits. But the break is an important thing to get right, and if it doesn't fit, it's not going to show off to its best effect. Either your trousers will look too short, or there'll be a ruffling or a gathering of material and they will look too long. In this instance, I think Eddie's got them spot on. And what can we see? Well, a good crease on those trousers. You hear me saying this all the time. If you're going to wear a pair of nice dress trousers, break the bloody iron out and use it. And Eddie has put a good old crease on these trousers, which immediately sets the tone, doesn't it? Great shoes, great crease on the trousers. You know you're talking to somebody who cares about their appearance. The material of the actual suit itself is, it seems to be a navy colour, and it's got a light, quite close chalk stripe or pinstripe, I would probably describe this one, pinstripe effect through it. And that lends the suit a sort of a formal appearance. But, you know, we've often seen James Bond wearing pinstripes in recent years, provided by Tom Ford. I think it's a really stylish material, and yeah, a versatile suit that you could wear in many situations. But the trousers, they fit great. You know, they fit great indeed. Moving up the body, Eddie's wearing a belt, and I can see that the colour of the belt is reflective, or certainly within the same family as the colour of the leather of his shoes, which is something we always want to try and get right. If you're wearing a black shoe, you certainly don't want to wear a brown leather belt. In this instance, he's matched his colours, and he's got a brown leather belt, which is sharp and stylish. Can't fault it. Moving up the body, let's look at the shirt next to the skin. And here we see a patterned shirt. So it is a predominantly blue shirt with white striping on it. And yeah, it seems to be a good fit. I would suggest it is more of an informal shirt, because I can see, looking at the collar, that it is a button-down collar shirt. Now, I traditionally wouldn't wear a tie with a button-down collar shirt, but I know many gentlemen do. I'm not sort of casting judgment here. But for me, a button-down collar shirt is a shirt that I would wear without a tie, because it's slightly less formal. However, Eddie is showing us here a good example of versatility, because absolutely this shirt works well with the suit. One might perhaps argue there's too many stripes going on, stripes on the pinstripe of the suit, pinstripe or the stripes on the shirt, but for me, I think they don't clash at all. It works very well. Quite bold stripes obviously on the shirt, which works superbly. And whilst we're talking about the shirt, let's talk about that tie as well. A strong bold colour which draws a contrast against the shirt and stands out against the suit. This is exactly the sort of tie that I would choose in a situation like this. It's got a nice symmetrical recurring pattern, but its predominant colour is a red, stands out, looks good, it's bold, it's strong, it says something about the wearer. Its length is perfect. Obviously, when one wears a tie, the difficulty is getting the length correct so that it falls and drapes nicely against the body. And I always aim to get the bottom of the blade of my tie to the buckle of my belt or the waistband of my trousers. Not any further, not any shorter. Spot on. So Eddie has delivered that well. Seems to be a half Windsor knot. Hard to get the knot perfect when you're wearing a shirt which is buttoned down quite often, because as you can see, the collar of the shirt is made of it's the same material as the entire shirt, so it's quite a soft collar by the look of it, but he's done well, and this works as an overall outfit entirely. I think it's very smart. Let's look at the jacket. Now, let me just home in on it, because Eddie has thoughtfully given us a second image of the upper half of his body. And here we see what is a pretty damn good rendition of how a jacket or a coat should fit on a gentleman. It's about the right length, and of course the right length of a jacket should be roughly where one's hand falls against your jacket. So if I stand up, you should be able to grip the hem of your jacket with your hand naturally. If it doesn't fit, if you have to go further down or it's up here, as your arm stands or falls against the body, you should be able to grip the hem of the bottom of your jacket. That is a perfect fit, and that appears to be what Eddie has achieved here. Now, when we look at the body, we can see that the coat fits rather well. It's a nice fit, two-buttoned jacket. He has done the top button up in this image, which is the way, the protocol which one would normally wear a two-button jacket. Always do the top button up, never the bottom button. And yeah, you know, it seems to be a fairly good fit. The length on the sleeves, pretty good. As you can see in the arm which is visible, the jacket sleeve ends exactly where you would expect it. On his other arm, we can see that he's wearing a nice watch, which is, again, he's matched the leather of the bracelet or the strap of his watch with the leather of his belt and the leather of his shoes. That shows attention to detail. That's what we would expect from a gentleman. So it's a notch and lapelled coat. And in the breast pocket, we see a pocket square poking out, which again, attention to detail, it's all in the accessories. So taken as an overall outfit, and looking at Eddie here in his suit with all of his accessories visible, I would say he looks like a very smart gentleman. Now, he's got a few natural advantages. He's an athletic looking gentleman, all right? So he's fit looking. So the suit drapes rather well upon him. Looking at this image now, I might suggest that the jacket might be a touch long, because I don't know if he's able to grab the hem of the jacket. It's impossible to tell, but it looks pretty damn good to me. And it's a nice serviceable colour of a suit. That pinstripe pattern can be worn informal, or maybe going out for dinner with the family. In this image here, it would work rather well. The shirt, although inherently, one might say, more casual in its nature because it's a button-down collar shirt, it looks rather good with this outfit. Maybe more of an informal situation you'd be going to here, you know, dinner with the family perhaps, or to church, or whatever you would dress up for. And the tie, the most striking item which Eddie is wearing here, really pops. The colour draws your eye, and it marries nicely with the other items of his outfit. So for me, without going any further, without looking at the cost of these items, I would say he's delivered. He is a chap through and through. It's a smart outfit. Everything works well. The attention to detail has been delivered. You know, that continuity of the leather, you know, the watch strap, the belt, the shoes, the way that the tie finishes perfectly at the waistband, it all looks good. Now, what is the really important thing here is that when you look at Eddie, you'd say, yep, the guy looks $1 million. He really looks the part. But he didn't spend $1 million, I can tell you that, because he's gone to the great trouble of sending me how much it actually cost. And I'm going to tell you, you will be amazed. That beautiful suit which he's wearing, navy suit from Joseph A. Bank, he purchased that from a Goodwill store on $1 day, which is one of their promotional days, so it appears. And it cost him $1 US, because he bought it on a day where it was being sold for that discounted price. Now, he has had it altered and it's cost him $45 US, but all in all, he's got a very versatile, very good suit, $46, including the tailoring. Now, that is a bargain. Dress shirt. That dress shirt you heard me saying looks a little casual. That's from Polo, Ralph Lauren, $8.99. Bargain. How much would that cost if it was off the rail in the store? Vintage necktie, also from Ralph Lauren, Polo, $4.99. Less than $5 for a Polo necktie, and a very nice one as well. The wristwatch from Fossil, $8. I mean, you know, it's not an elite brand, but tells the time, looks good with this outfit. The shoes. This is often the most expensive item in one's clothing. Johnson & Murphy, $12.99. $12.99 for those beautiful sort of burgundy, oxblood coloured cap to Oxfords. The belt from Penguin, $5. And the pocket square, $1 US. So I'm not going to add it all up. I mean, clearly it's under $100. And he tells us a little bit about it. All of the items purchased in the outfit were bought from thrift stores in his local area. The real treasure is the navy pinstripe suit I purchased on $1 day, $1. Now, that is an absolute bargain. So I think, I mean, you know, even if I hadn't talked about the amount of money this outfit had cost, I think we'd be saying winner, winner, chicken dinner. You know, it looked the part. But then when we look at its cost, he's purchased an entire suit of clothing for what many gentlemen would pay for a tie or a shirt on its own. And he's got the shoes, the suit, the belt, the watch, the tie, the shirt, the full shebang, and it's cost him less than $100. Now that just goes to show that any of us who are sat here thinking, I'd love to turn up my style, you know, I'd like to turn up the volume on my life's style sort of direction, but I can't afford it. Well, sir, I think you can afford it. All you have to do is perhaps step outside your comfort zone and enter the world of pre-owned, of, you know, the thrift store, the charity shop, the Goodwill, because you're obviously helping those charities. They're acquiring your funds, but also you are getting to look sharp, to cut a dash around town at the sort of money which is a night out in a restaurant, or, you know, maybe a week or two of buying coffee every day in the Starbucks. If you put that money to one side, you could easily achieve an outfit like this and enjoy the sport of doing it as well. Now, in my last Frugal video, I featured John from England, and he was able to acquire a Gives and Hawkes suit from Savile Row for small money as well. So it can be done. You can look as smart as Eddie just by being sensible and frugal in your financial planning. So in this time of extreme financial difficulty for some gentlemen, you know, you don't have to dress as if you are on your uppers. You can actually dress exceptionally well. For the price of a pair of jeans, in some cases, you can get a full outfit of clothing, and that would see you right for any number of occasions. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are a frugal gentleman and you've acquired a full outfit of clothing for a very modest amount of money, let me know. I would love to feature you on the channel to inspire and motivate other gentlemen to go out into the world and dress well, dress sharply, and dress very modestly in price. If you've enjoyed the video, I would encourage you to give it a thumbs up. I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support us, you can either buy me a coffee or you can even become a patron. You will see my list of patrons come up at the end of this video, and they're gentlemen who invest in the channel to help bring you this content, to help you on your journey to Chap Nirvana. Now, I think today's salute, of course, is going to be dedicated to Eddie and his exceptionally frugal dress sense, but he is a smart chap as well. I think you'll agree. So until the next time, take care, and I will see you again very soon.